Okay, great. All right. Demo day, mid-October. Lots of things to show. I think one of the things that's fresh off is Javi and I both are fresh out of a weekend of not sleeping at the ETH Global SF Hackathon. Oh, sweet. Evan, good to see you. We were just
Oh,
chatting about
hey, Evan. I was going to demo your thing, but we'd love you to demo
yeah, totally.
it.
Cool.
But I just put you on the
Um,
spot, so anyway, cue that up if you can.
Yeah, I got it.
Anyway, I'll let Javi do most of the demo, but I just want to share that this is super exciting. We've been wanting to do OSO metrics automatic continuous retro funding for some time now, and we just got together over a weekend and cranked it out. We won a bunch of prizes, including top app on Polygon, top 3 in terms of research for Uniswap, and top 3 in terms of public infrastructure for Noun. So there's a ton of stuff that we're gonna do to follow up on this, but yeah, it was super cool. I'll let Javi take it over from here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, Ray and I over the weekend built Auto Retrofunding. So basically, Auto Retrofunding is retrofunding made simple. What we do is we compute metrics. In this case, we were just using GitHub metrics, but over the future, we'd like to expand and get different metrics. And we automatically adjusted a price pool regarding on your metrics for these projects. So basically, I'll show you how it goes. First of all, well, this is the repo. If you want to check it out, it's at Open Source Observer. It's ETH Global SF 2024, and it consists on the website, which is this one, and an SDK. So first of all, on the website, we got a little bit of an explanation about what it is and how it works for the different profiles. For the funder, basically, we first create a funding pool in which we put a name, a description, and then we invite participants. Basically, participants will be able to join and register interest for their projects whenever they want to join a pool. After that, we review the pool and it's ready to go. And if you want to join as a project, it's super simple. You literally click the link to join a funding pool. You log in with GitHub, put the wallet address that you want the funds to go to, in the case that you get some allocation, and then you even can refer your friends. But first of all, I'll show you. So here we go to create, and it's as simple as clicking new and putting a name. So let's say, I don't know, also example. And then I say something like, this is our retro funding pool. After you click create, and here you will get the pool itself. So basically here, as you can see, it is now empty. But one really cool thing that we built for the ETH Global Hackathon was that we built a pool for Polygon. So basically the Polygon folks gave us $1,000 to distribute amongst everyone. And we got almost 60 projects to join. So basically, Ray and I went on a sales pitch spree, and we convinced almost 60 projects to join. The average project has 3, 4, 5 members. So that's a lot of people. These folks joined and registered interest with their GitHub repo and the address that they would like the payouts to be sent. So this is built on GitHub Actions, and basically we compute the weights for all projects. And as you can see here, this is all the allocation for all different projects at ETH Global. It's a list really big, which updates a splits contract. So basically, this is the fund. Here, as you can see, different projects got different allocations, and what we plan to do in the future is send the money to them, to the splits contract, and then this will automatically get displayed. After that, we plan to follow up on this on a rolling basis, like 3, 6, 9 months, and compute the metrics again to reward people who are indeed working hard on their projects after the hackathon in order to foster the maintaining of this project. And yeah, overall, that was it. As Ray said before, we actually won the best consumer app on Polygon from our Polygon friends, which was really cool. And the third place with the Nouns DAO public infrastructure, and for the UNICEF Foundation with integration, research, and experiments.
Is that, are we number 5 there? Do I recognize that address on the splits?
Okay, so on the splits, we are this one or this one? Yeah, we're like quite up there.
Not grinding hard enough.
Okay, so yeah,
only
we
number 5.
7.59. So yeah, we're these ones. But yeah, we still have some fine tuning to do on our metrics. They are, hackathon metrics. It was 2 days. Yeah, we will find something better.
Did you show them the referral link thing?
Oh, I went too fast over that. Yeah. So as Ray said, one really cool idea that I had, but Ray inspired me. So basically, we had to get people to join. So we thought, what better way to join than to offer a piece of the person who you refer. So basically, we got to spread the word by saying, okay, you registered, and here's your referral link. If you get someone else to register for you, you will get 1% of whatever they earn. And we actually did get some referrals, which was pretty cool. So yeah, we even did some marketing as well.
Yeah. Any questions?
Super, super cool. Yeah. How do you guys have a list of UI ideas, or is there an epic to kind of track things that could be done as improvements for this, or do you want to kind of leave it as is?
Yeah, it's a good question. If you go into the Kariba repo, it's a public repo. I've been filing a bunch of follow-on work issues, and obviously this is like just 2 days of work. Once we put some real investment behind it, there's a lot of things we can do there. But yeah, feel free to file issues. I feel like this is just the beginning of something really big. And I think there's going to be two interesting parts, right? One is, okay, can we actually start to create like continuous funds through a surface that we maintain? Of course, we can rebrand it from AutoRF to something else, but there's a whole issue around porting that UI in and trying to productionizing it into some way. And then separately from that, I think you can think about it independently, because I think we can use it with or without our own UX. Is this, it's currently in a GitHub action. There's arguments to be made whether or not we should leave it off chain or we can put it on chain. There's an issue I filed around like potentially moving the thing that we're currently doing in GitHub Actions on chain, but there's actually a pretty strong argument to leave it off chain right now. But that thing, whatever we want to call it, there's arguments to be made that we can leverage that in a couple of different ecosystems, even without this UX. Potentially, in these conversations that we're going to have with Optimism in the next few weeks. So, there's a lot of cool follow-on work that we want to do here. Just file issues, and we'll triage it in the next few
Cool.
weeks.
Great.
I have a question.
Yes.
How far do you want to explore the branding of this at this point? Do you want to iterate on it, or do you want to wait until later and do something more defined then?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It's definitely like we've already seen some bugs, so this is definitely not, quote unquote polished and production ready. But then there's a fundamental question of like, okay, who is the ideal customer for wanting to use this particular surface? It probably won't be Optimism, to be frank, right? Like they're pretty invested in their own sign-up flow. So yeah, it's worth a thought of like whether or not we want to actually turn this into a product and engage with, somebody that wants to run a continuous retro fund this way. I think it probably requires a little bit more thought before we, make any decisions.
Cool. I think what could be helpful in situations like this is some kind of starter brand guide, or just things that you can use to it repeatedly for kind of spinning up mini products, and that should make it easier to make these things look good from the beginning. So I can help you out with that.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, there was definitely not a designer on the hackathon team. We would have loved your help during the hackathon if you did.
No, I'm not insulting the design. I'm just saying I can help you out.
No, we stole all the logos from other websites, so yes, you should insult the design.
Okay.
Please insult their design. Yes, you should insult their design, insult their metrics. Don't insult their backend. Don't touch the infrastructure.
Cool. Any other questions?
That's super cool. We've actually had. Yeah. Anyway, well, we should talk offline about ways of doing more on top of this. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think there's a ton we can explore here. In the meantime, I think in the short term, this week, we should write a blog post with the results. Reach out to the ETH Global folks. We're going to try to like expand the pool to more applicants, and then actually distribute the funds and tweet about it. Like, you know, it's a thing that actually happened in a short period of time. That's with real money. So I think that's something we should be excited about.
Nice.
All right.
I nominate Javi because my dad liked his last blog post and said it was the best he'd seen in a while from us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Your dad said Javi's blog post was the best he's seen in a while, but you're the one
Yeah.
writing all the other blog posts.
I know, he gives me a hard time because he says the rest are too technical, and he liked Javi's because it was very like good explaining concepts to him.
Nice. Well, sounds like Javi needs to write more blog posts.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple other things that I want to demo real quick. I'll keep it super short. Time me. If it's more than 2 minutes, then I've done something wrong. Okay, you guys can see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So really minor. I'm glad we did it. Thank you so much, Steph, for accumulating all of this. But we've given like a butt ton of talks in the last 2 years. Realistically, most of these are in the last year. But it's in our docs. It's all on our public monorepo. So whenever you give a talk, and that includes the entire team, about the stuff that we're doing, please add it in here. I think it's cool to just be able to see how our thinking has evolved over time. And you can see this in our docs under the events, or no, sorry, talks.md. But it's in here. It's in a single file. I will get to it eventually, but yeah, that's that. Super easy. Yes, in here, talks.md. Please update this. The other thing I was just gonna give a teaser on. You know, this is kind of to CC's question. I don't know if this is the right brand for what we want to do, but I put this up just to kind of start, like, kind of in the open, in the public, enumerating some thoughts of how I think this could work in the future. And you can see, like, I was brainstorming for the hackathon in a public, you know, documentation page. We ended up implementing most of this stuff, but like, here's a cool idea that like I was super excited about that we didn't get into implementing, which was around like actually sending email notifications with like a summary of how the metrics are changing and how the payouts are changing that you can like authorize and approve. So that's like some follow-on work that we might want to do. But anyway, we're going to work in the open like we do with everything else. And I wanted to keep all the funding stuff in a space that's separate from the data stuff, because I'm hoping Open Source Observer, as we've said in the past, is going to be, you know, more and more general. All things data eventually will want to bridge over into the Chaos community and the Linux community and all the other like open source heads. And I wanted to keep the funding stuff kind of separate so that it's not, you know, tainting the pure, you know, data curiosity insights, you know, driven kind of brand that we have at Open Source Observer. So I'm keeping it here for now. We can rebrand this, as CC said, but yeah, just trying to keep the funding stuff separate. And from a network architecture perspective, like effectively oh man, this is like really hard to see, but I'll zoom in a little bit. I don't know if that helps or hurts, but you know, I'm imagining a world where like, yeah, this open source observer layer is like the observability layer. It is probably the most important part. That's why we started with it. Index all the data. You have this interesting community of people building models for our pipeline that feeds into an API that can do all sorts of things. Right now, we just have this edge where we're kind of like informing governance. But you know, this is kind of this top box is kind of what we started prototyping, right? You have some kind of policy engine like a retro fund that dictates how you take input from governance and directs it into some kind of funding. Right now, the funding agent technically lives on GitHub Actions as a part of like the current architecture. We could move that on chain, but right now, just for simplicity, it's off-chain. And then it configures a bunch of on-chain contracts, which currently use 0x splits, but we could use drips or superfluid or anything else in the future, which feeds back into this ecosystem of projects, users, and treasuries that we're measuring on Open Source Observer. So of course we're like focusing on this bottom part right now because that's one of the hardest things, just measuring all the things in the entire ecosystem. But increasingly, like, I'm kind of excited to see what else we can experiment with here on this top box. And you'll see it's like, yeah, this is a more complicated version of the feedback loop that we've talked about in previous talks that we've given. But we're starting to flesh more of it out. So let's collaborate. We'll work in public. Nothing to hide here. But yeah, this is where you can find it. Ooh. Next, Rohit, do you want to share your ThinkArb stuff?
Oh, Rohit, you might be muted. Are you there?
Okay, I think we can't hear you, Rohit. Javi also has had issues with microphones in Discord before, so while you
Yeah.
figure it out, maybe CC can, maybe CC can share some of the designs.
Cool, yeah, we can come back to Rohit. So just a quick one from me. Are we seeing this? Yep. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So this is live now. I was working on another a design branch for this homepage redesign because I was tentative about implementing it on the main branch, but I'm feeling good about it now. It's looking good. There's an updated version of this that will be published later today, and beyond that, I'm just doing things like having a look at all of these landing pages and seeing how we can bring the branding into them, how we can kind of just make all the colors kind of in line with our color palette, things like that. So there's a bunch of new pages that have gone up here, so I'm just gonna go through those and see how I can make them.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. All of the images, every single image in there was just like hastily added, without any thought. So this is way better. Thank you for cleaning it up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's worse when there's no images. I'm seeing some pages with no images, which is a sin to me. So I am, yeah, I'm gonna jump into those first. At least give them some nice color, or there's some interesting layout if it's very text heavy. But yeah, just playing around. We've got a bunch of graphics that I've developed in Figma that we can work with. So there's lots of options to make hero sections of the pages just to set the tone of what the page is about. And yeah, that's where I'm going next. I think probably next week I will move on to thinking about how that kind of spreads to the other parts of the brand, how we can make that kind of starter brand pack that I mentioned for any quick products that you're doing or hackathons that you're working on. Then we'll be able to have some nice color and fonts at least on projects like that. So that's everything from me.
Yeah, the tweaks, are minor, but like they make a huge difference. So thank you again for doing this.
Good. Of course.
Rohit, are you ready? If not, Steph, do you want to show the new merch?
Oh yes, I'll go first before Rohit. Hello guys. Wait, let me just share my screen. Here. Alright. So on my side for our merch for swag, thank you so much to CC for the design and of course to the whole team for um, finalizing the design. Thank you so much for your votes, guys. It definitely helped us speed up, expedite the process. So this is the one that we voted, and if ever we're going to get hoodies, this is how it's gonna look like. And the one that we commissioned is from tshirtbangkok.com, supply and apparel. So this is their website. So we commissioned them for 100 black shirts with different denominations of sizes. And right now they proceeded with the printing. This is how it looks like. Front design, back. This is the front logo and this is the back logo. And we will be expecting them to be delivered on your Airbnb, guys. So that's it for my end. Once again, thank you so much for all the help. And CC, you're so great.
Lady Bella.
Thank you.
Yay, thanks. Awesome. I'm super excited for these.
Yay! Yes. So how many
Long-
shirts should we pack?
I think we got 100.
All right.
Yeah, and we're planning to add 25 more, right, Ray?
Yeah,
Nice.
after a year of no merch and only wearing other people's merch, it'll be nice to have our own t-shirts. it's long overdue. Thank you, CC and Steph for putting this together.
Rohit, do you want to try?
I
again?
realize
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
I
CC.
was just going to say I realized my microphone is on and I just got a puppy and I'm I'm screaming at her. So sorry.
Are you back with us, Rohit? Any luck? Evan, are you Carl was telling us about this LLM you've been working on. Any chance you'd been open to demoing this?
Yeah, definitely. Here, I can share my screen.
Awesome.
Nice. Sorry, Rohit. I'll try and share it. What you had.
Oh, okay. I don't have anything like pretty to share. It's just going to be a code file, but I'll go pretty like high level through it, and then if anyone has questions, feel free to let me know. But basically, I've been playing around with the idea of creating like a dynamic or like updating data dictionary. And so what this code does is it connects to BigQuery, iterates through all of the data sets that we want it to. And so this is what I've been throwing in for now. And then generates a data dictionary of the contents of this data set. I'm storing everything in MongoDB right now so that obviously every time we're running it, it'll look at the data that's already there and check to see for data sets that are new, tables that are new, or tables that have changed, like there's differences in columns or differences in data, and then only update those. And so the idea of this is that we could have something that runs automatically, like at the end of every night or at the end of every week, and it would constantly update the data. These are some prompts that I put together, and then yeah, but I won't go too much into this, but it pretty much just connects to BigQuery, iterates through the tables and grabs all the columns, and like important information that I think would help the LLM. Like it grabs some sample values, ranges, means and modes, and then I gave some basic context on just the overall of each project, like what the Farcaster project represents, etc. And then it feeds this to the LLM and generates a description each time of each column. And then I will switch my screen real quick So I've been running some like tests, and then this is like an example of an output just on the OSO projects and Firecaster datasets. But yeah, where it'll give us this file with dataset name, contributors, and then the description. And then I also have files, like more in-depth files that I'm actually using for the prompt engineering saved, but this is more of the like the pretty one that we would actually be doing stuff with. But yeah.
Wow, this is super cool. So you're imagining that you'll just auto-generate these YAML files and submit them back upstream for our reference documentation? Is that the flow?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm starting with Carl gave me some specific data sets to focus on. So I have I have a filter put in place so that it'll only look and update and generate stuff for those data sets. But hopefully the goal is down the line to get this to a point to where it's like up and hosted and running, and it can just like iterate through everything.
Wow, that's so cool. Nice work. I'm curious, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is the LLM at giving like descriptions that, are reasonable?
Yeah. Yeah. So far, I mean, it seems pretty good. I've been giving it a good amount of context. And yeah, I've been like lightly reading through and comparing with some like documentation that we do already have set up, and everything looks pretty good. But obviously the problem that we run into with LLMs is you can never be sure, and every once in a while you'll get something that's like a complete hallucination. So yeah, we'll see.
I mean, even doing the first step, which is to create the YAML file that then you can review and edit, is so useful.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so useful. And then in our code reviews, we can definitely, adjust language as necessary. But compared to our original, I think we do have an issue literally called like handwrite every single column description. So this is definitely a step up from that.
I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, this is still demo time, but one thing that I know Rohit has talked about, and Evan, you might be interested in, is actually creating an LM that can review OSS directory updates. Anyway, we'll jam on that some other time. That would be a fun little hackathon.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it'd be cool too if this project could get to the point to where we attach like front end to it. And then people can go on and there's like this easy to explore and fun like data dictionary that has a really good explanation of just all the types of metrics that you can actually see in each table individually too. Would be pretty cool.
I would say
Well-
also.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's. I see that you're iterating in a Jupyter notebook, but this is the kind of thing that, like, don't be shy. Just submitting a pull request to the mono repo, like a Python script
Mhm.
that we can use in our Kubernetes cluster or something. Like,
We could even turn it into like an asset or something and run it every
Yeah.
week,
exactly, we can turn it into a Dagster asset that runs on a schedule in our infrastructure. This is, but like for now, we're scripting, we're experimenting. Totally makes sense. But yeah, don't be shy. Like we love stuff like this. This is cool.
Mhm.
Cool, definitely. Yeah, I'll do that.
And welcome, Evan, because I don't know if everybody's gotten the chance to speak with you. So thanks so much for for joining in.
Yeah, of course. This has been fun.
Let me actually. Can folks see? Oh, did I just lose it?
I think you lost it.
Can you see now?
Loading. Nope, it died.
Keeps booting me. Sorry, I keep hitting it and then it kicks me off. All right, I'm gonna reset. Sorry.
Okay, well, Maybe I can demo Awesome OSO for you while we're waiting. It's a pretty minor one, but that way we're not burning too much time. So not to steal Carl's thunder, but he's offline right now. We are working on just accumulating like community things that are happening. It's awesome just to see how many things in the community are starting to pop up. I feel like we're starting to reach some kind of inflection point where, you know, the community is starting to actually produce things that on top of OSO APIs and data that can be showcased. So we definitely accept community contributions to this. Please add like cool dashboards that you're building and whatnot. There is a link here to the ThinkARP stuff. If Rohit, you want me, if your mic works, you could talk through it while I screen share for you. If your mic doesn't work, then maybe not. But for example, the most recent one that we got here was a contribution to Filecoin and Numbers. So this is the actual Filecoin dashboard that they use at the foundation, monitoring all sorts of things like data onboarding, etc. But now because of OSO, they're starting to also monitor things like developer activity, which you can see down here. So this is all powered by our API. They're tracking, you know, core devs and the number of commits and issues and whatnot. So it's cool. Like we didn't do anything, and they did this in the last couple of weeks, and it's really cool to see people starting to use our stuff. But yeah, they are using it for their internal core dev stuff. I think Carl wanted to share something similar that we've been doing for Retrofunding 5, which is for core dev stack of OP Stack. But he's not here, and but yeah, that's awesome OSO. Please add more stuff to it. It's gonna be cool to showcase. I think the last thing Carl wanted to show was the RF6 dashboard, which I know he's like actively working on, so he probably actually has things he wants to share there. We can give it a minute. How's everyone doing?
I sent a photo of what was distracting me in the chat here, just for reference, to show you what who I was shouting at on the mic.
Oh, that's super cute. Is that your dog?
Yeah, I just got her 2 days ago. So
Oh, what's her name?
her name's Lady Bella.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, super cute.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, I showed awesome OSO while you were out, if that's cool.
Hey, that's great. Did
I don't
Rohit
think-
get to present it?
Unfortunately, Rohit seems to still have mic issues. But I
Let me
did.
see if I can. Yeah,
Sad.
I'm also not able to share my screen. What is going on?
One thing, Carl, maybe that helps is try setting the FPS to 15. I know it's like a little bit blurry, but I had that problem, and with 30 or 60, it didn't work.
Oh, where do you set that?
No, when you are like showing your screen, there's like a here. When you like go live here, you can check like to 15. That's why I have it.
Oh, I see. Lower frame rates.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They're static screens.
I'm just getting a loading sign every time I try and do it. So weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can. I know you have a bunch of stuff you want to share around RF5 and 6. There will be even more to share in this round. So, like 5 minutes, so I might call it. But still, I think this was like one of our coolest demo days yet. Thanks for everybody for demoing Glad you can make it, Evan. Thanks, CC and Rohit. Sorry, Rohit, about the technical issues. Let's demo it next time. There will be ample opportunity. All right. Cheers.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye all.
Have a good one.